back to the channel. Now tonight we're going to do a little something different, and this is going to be my first episode of my new series, Viewer Asks. And basically I'm going to be covering a question that somebody asked me, and this one came a couple of days ago. And as you can see, Houston here is getting a 26mm Nibby carburetor, PWK, and he wants to know exactly how I have my vacuum lines hooked up. So let's take a look. So this is a look of the engine from a top side view. And if you wanted to, you could pause the picture right here and see the flow of my fuel line and my vacuum line within the carb. But we're going to go in for a more detailed view, and we're going to start from the back all the way up to the front. So from the gas tank, we have our first fuel line right here. And that fuel line is going into a fuel filter, and it continues to run into the petcock / fuel pump. Mine's upgraded, but don't let that fool you. Basically, it's a petcock, and the fuel line's coming in from there. Now mine's pretty easy to follow because all the vacuum lines are clear, but sticking with the fuel, you'll see the blue hose, and that is the fuel line coming from the petcock. Again, the only other connection here would be the vacuum coming from this nozzle on the petcock, and I just have it going into a loop-de-loop. Now currently I still have my emissions canister hooked up, but let's ignore that for a moment and let's follow the vacuum line and see where that goes. And if we follow that all the way, that ends up going to the air intake, and that's a nipple you'll find on an upgraded intake. Now starting back from the fuel line, we'll follow that, and that only goes into one place on the carb, and that is on the back right side of the carburetor. Now from there are only 3 other nipples you have to worry about, and those are the 2 on top of the carb. This is a little bit harder to see, but there's also a nipple on the bottom left hand side of the carburetor. And those 3 nipples are for your breather hoses that will normally come with the PWK carb. Now the only other hose that I have is to vent my head, and that is running into a K&N filter. So Houston, I really truly hope this cleared things up for you. And I'm not exactly sure because I haven't done a CVK in a while, but I do know it has that split hose. But as you can see on this, you most likely will not need it. So guys, I'm going to get out of here, but I want everybody to have a great night, and you know I'll see you in the next one. Peace, y'all.